Hey there, listeners. Welcome back to Podcast Demastered. I'm here with Chelsea as always, and this week we are covering the new Harry Potter Quidditch Champions game. It came out, at time of recording, it came out just this past Tuesday, and we have been taking some time to get used to the game and play a little bit together. We have plenty of playing left to do, but we really wanted to give you our first impressions, see where we're at, how we're feeling about it, if we're having fun, all that stuff. So if you've been interested in the Quidditch game, or if you've been just kind of curious and not really sure whether to check it out or not, this is the episode for you.
Yes. And I think right off the bat saying, so listeners, if you have PlayStation Plus, it is one of the free Plus games for the month. So definitely snag it while you can.
Absolutely. And like a new game being the monthly Plus game, that is such a cool thing. I love when they do that. It's not too often that happens. No,
it's not. So it's really exciting when it does. And so this is that game this month. But let's see, when was the last time? Because there was a Quidditch game that came out forever ago, and that was like our last like Quidditch video game we had. I almost want to say that was
like the one on like the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube, I think. Yeah.
So to have it be on our current gaming systems is such a thrill in that regard, because it was like, what were they going to do for this game? And this is a game too, I feel like, that we saw like a lot of like teases for the game, but I felt like it didn't give us enough of what to expect gameplay-wise.
Every video they released or everything that they were talking about with it was just these little like pre-made cutscenes and just basic like ad material. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, you know what Quidditch is. You don't need anything. I'm like, no, it's because I know what Quidditch is. That's why I need you to say more about the game, please.
Yes.
Because we didn't know. And then like a week or something before the game came out, they released like a 5-minute, like, it wasn't really a gameplay trailer so much as it was just a trailer that showcased some gameplay finally. Because we hadn't had any of that.
We had it. But it was still such more of a tease still.
Yeah, well, I remember watching that 5 minutes, like 5 solid minutes, and leaving it and just going, I still don't understand how I'm playing this game. I don't know what's supposed to happen.
Yeah, for real. But listeners, don't worry, because when you get that game going and everything, it'll take you through the tutorials of playing the key roles. And so it gives you plenty of time to get introduced to them. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of funny. I think this game's really funny how it decides to like introduce the tutorial where you're basically like playing with the Weasleys on their property, and like Ginny is telling you how to...
Yeah, like how to play and everything. Yeah, I thought it's even more funny because like, it's like, well, here, like Ginny's on your team. And like you're playing against like Fred and Hermione. And it's like, okay. But then as your teams get bigger and they start like letting you like create your own characters, which we'll get to in a second.
Yes. More
of the other team becomes available, and it's like, oh, hi, Molly Weasley.
Yes.
Like, why are you playing Quidditch?
I was cracking up so much at that part. I was like, this is the best. Who knew?
Like, Arthur, I would expect. Like, okay, I could see Arthur doing it, but like Molly, okay, wow, all right. Like, go Percy next, I guess. Let's do it.
That's for sure. But it's also so funny, too, because they really try to capture some of their personalities in some ways, because they can be really snarky with you on the field, or say, like...
Oh, they can. Yeah. Every time I see, like, Draco Malfoy pop up on the screen, given his little, like, tidbits, I just want to punch him.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
His voice, too. I'm just like, ugh, I hate you. Like...
Because even when you play as Slytherin too, and like you win against like another team, the other teams are so nasty. Gryffindor is like, ew, disgusting. Slytherin, like, how dare the stupid team? Like, basically, it's like the vibes of that, and I'm like, okay, automatically hating on Slytherin. Okay, I see how it is.
I haven't like, they're the one team that I haven't played as. I've been going through like playing as each house's like little story mode-y thing, and I just finished the Ravenclaw one today. I started as Hufflepuff.
Okay.
Naturally.
Yes, of course.
I still need to do the Slytherin one, but wow, like, okay.
No, I think I'm like convinced, it completely becomes like a different like tone when you play as Slytherin, because every other team is just so negative, and I feel like it was not like that playing as the others. Like, it made sense between Gryffindor and Slytherin, but it was just crazy. But you did like tease about creating characters in this game, because only at the beginning of the game do you get to learn how to play the different positions, but you also get to create characters, and you don't get to create just one character. Which was quite a surprise. It was nice. So like, and it's a thing too where you can customize these characters later. Like, you don't have to be like 100% in for like, this is your character design, but every time you learn a new position, which you start with Chaser, you get to design all 3 of your Chasers, and then a Keeper, a Beater, and then the Seeker. And
at first I thought I wasn't like doing mental math, and I thought we had 2 Chasers and 2 Beaters, and then I finally like stopped and took a look at my party, and I was like, oh no, it's only 1 Beater and then the 3 Chasers. Which I was like, okay, I understand, like, because usually if like with Quidditch teams you have 7 people, 3 Chasers, 2 Beaters, a Keeper, and a Seeker. But having it 6v6 that makes so much more sense, because in like online PvP setting, everybody gets a Chaser, and then you pick one of the 3 other jobs. So everybody is controlling 2 people. So like having that 7th person would really like not work out. And I've already heard like Harry Potter purists online be like, it's not 7. Like, everybody calm down, like chill.
Yeah.
We gotta make it work.
I know, yeah. And that's the thing with this game. There are definitely those moments I will admit that I've had with this game, because like, if you try to go like by being a Harry Potter purist, like, and the different rules and stuff, it's not gonna be the same. And it makes sense, because this is a video game. We are not playing like real life Quidditch out in a field for hours on end. Yeah. And it makes sense, especially if you want to people get through like the PvP and stuff like that. You need like, these games not to last forever.
They make a game where you can get in, get out, have some fun, level up your characters, and have a good time. But, you know, when the team numbers, they don't work out, or you have to wait for your Seeker to catch the snitch and get you 150 points. Because, you know, in normal Quidditch, the game doesn't end until the snitch is caught. And there's like things said in the book where like matches could last like 2 weeks or more, because they just can't you know, it's like, that's not feasible. We have like 6-minute matches, 6.5-minute matches, something like that. Yeah. And that feels like the perfect amount of time.
Yeah.
And you only play to 100 points. So you're as Chasers, you can score 10 points at a time. And then as the Seeker, when the snitch is released, you can catch the snitch for 30. It does not end the match. You just keep going. But eventually the snitch will be released again, and you can catch it for a second time for another 30 points.
Which is kind of silly in some regards, but I mean, it really does work, because it helps you like get a boost in the score too. If you're getting near the end of the game, you're like, oh my gosh, we're down by 20 or something.
You know, like, that helped us out earlier, didn't it?
It did.
We were having a heck of a time scoring points as Chaser, so every time that snitch came up, I was like, all right, I'm switching.
Yes.
And that saved us. That saved us a couple times.
It definitely did too. And yeah, I enjoyed playing as the Beater and stuff, and definitely trying to help out by trying to knock out the Seeker or the other Beater and stuff like that. And what's different in like this game versus like, you know, the actual rules of Quidditch and stuff is like, you can knock out a player and then they'll take like, I don't know, like a good couple seconds
or something like that.
For them to respawn again. So like, you can't completely knock out an entire team and just keep scoring, which would be hilarious, but it definitely adds to it. I mean, which I think helps it in general make it a more like balanced game play, because you still have those opportunities, and it's not like you're down for the count like in a battle royale situation type thing, and it just can't help your team out anymore.
Oh yeah, but I gotta say that you are excellent on defense and like protecting me as I was trying to get the snitch.
Yes.
It was like I'm trying to focus on flying through all the rings, and there was times I'm like, where is the other Seeker? It's like, well, Chelsea's like back there behind them, and she's just beating the ever-loving crap out of them the whole time. And like, I'm not having to do anything. I can just go about my business and catch the snitch, because she's back there assaulting the other Seeker.
I was like, that's how it should be. I should be the support.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I didn't learn until today that was like a strategy. If you're playing a Beater, you get up there and you beat up the Seeker when the other Seeker is active.
Yeah.
Like, that's rude. I like the amount of bludgers that I have to dodge, like, as a seeker is insane. Like, oh my god. Like, I have to, like, stay on this very thin line to go through these little bitty hoops, and I'm constantly having to dodge bludgers, which the dodge system is good because you just press a button and you dodge. You don't have to worry about anything else, but, like, you can't choose the direction in which you dodge. And that will send you way off course. It's like, as a seeker, like, as a chaser, it's kind of whatever. You're just trying to, like, not get beat around. But as a seeker, like, I'm trying to stay on course, and it's like, oh crud, I have to dodge, and that'll throw me way over here. And so I have to get back on track.
Yeah. Because, yeah, there's definitely, like, there's a couple, like, similar things you can do as playing all the positions, but then there's some that, of course, are very specialized to that one. And I have to say, I think I could speak for both of us that our least favorite, or one role we have not spent a whole lot of time with, is Keeper.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I really need to, because I don't want to, like,
not know how to do it.
Leave anybody, you know, like,
that's true.
Stuck there. Like, I can take the initiative and I can get a little better at Keeper so that other people can play with us and not, like, they can play, like, other things besides just Keeper all the time.
That's just too nice. No.
Yeah, but, you know, like, in MMOs, I play healer. Like, I'm used to, like, I'm doing the thing, or tank. I tank and heal. That's, like, my two things, and I, like, rarely ever DPS. I like other people to have fun, and I just like to do my job and protect all the babies. That's what I do. That's how I play games.
Well, that's why it's important. We need somebody to play all the roles, so that's great. Yeah. Let's see, another thing about this game is that we can confirm, and it was announced before this game is released, that there are no microtransactions. Every type of currency and stuff you can earn in-game while playing all kinds of different matches and whatnot. Because their shop, it's very much cosmetics. If you want to, like, play as, like, Harry Potter or...
They give you, like, hero skin options. Yeah, and so far we have, let's see, can we name them all? We have Ginny, for sure. Because they just kind of, like, give you Ginny.
Yeah.
And then you have the 4 Seekers from the book. So you have, like, Harry and Draco and Cedric and Cho. And then you have the Weasley twins. You can buy them from the shop. And then you can buy Hermione.
Yes.
And then there's the special skin, or if you have a save file for Hogwarts Legacy, or, like, if it's connected to your WB account, I guess.
Yes.
You get a Sebastian Sallow character skin as well.
Yes. And not only do you get that, you also get the broom, too. You get a special broom for having that connected accounts.
Oh, yes. And with most of the characters, you get their wand, too.
Oh, yes.
Like, you have, like, wand skins. And wands, of course, they're not used in Quidditch. Like, no. That's not a thing. But you have, like, emotes, and you have victory poses and stuff, and they can use the wands, which it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. I think I've only got, like, 5 or 6 wands at the moment. Nothing too crazy, but...
Yeah, no.
It's good.
But the emotes or, like, the victory things are hilarious. I have the most disturbing one. It's
Jump
Happy Early Halloween. Yeah. I was just like, I did not expect that because I was going through and I was like, oh, this is like a one for like a beater. And then it's just super close up of the face and just, I'm like, whoa.
They give you like a big old wink and then like jump back really far. Like, oh, Jesus Christ. Right in their face. Yeah.
But you have the cool one that is actually related to Hogwarts Legacy, the ancient magic, like little spell performance thing. That one's cool.
I've seen it a lot by now, so I might end up changing it, but
it's still fun though. Yeah.
It is fun, yes. It is.
So yeah, this game has a little bit of that, and like we kind of mentioned briefly, like so you can do solo or like they have like the campaign, so you can go through like different competitions, like you start with the tutorials at the Weasleys, then you can move on to the House Cup, going against the houses at Hogwarts.
And you just pick a house. You're never sorted, and you don't have like an allegiance to a house at all. Just if you want to play the Hogwarts Cup, you just pick a house. There's rewards for doing all 4 of them, like so many times, so
yes,
get to doing all 4 of them. Changing the color of your robe does not affect anything at all. But yes, you move on from there and you go to the the Triwizard Cup. So you get to play against other schools. You have Durmstrang and Beauxbaton, and I assume Ilvermorny too.
Well, it's just Hogwarts, actually. It's just those 3.
It's just those 3. Okay.
Yeah. And then you move on to like the Quidditch World Cup, and how many countries is it? Is it 16?
Like 16
yeah.
countries.
So there's lots of replayability if you want to just play as a different house or country.
And playing solo, it's pretty chill. It's you can just play on like super easy difficulty the whole time and do it that way. You never you don't have to touch PvP necessarily to like level up. I mean, if you want to do like the challenges and you want to unlock like certain cosmetics, I'm sure you'll have to do it there. But I think we found that playing online with other people was pretty wild.
Yes.
It's fun. You're not just facing AI. You're facing people who are doing things on purpose. Well, mostly. In my case, mostly on purpose.
Trying, maybe, yeah.
But I was afraid because I don't really play online games as far as like these like quick match kind of deals. So I don't really have skills for that kind of stuff. But it's working out pretty good for me so far.
Yeah.
Like, it's not awful, I don't think.
No. And I think maybe, too, we're also at the point where, like, everybody's learning how to play this game, too. So it's almost kind of like even playing field on that as well, so.
Maybe a little evil, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess evil.
There were some people that were being kind of mean.
Me?
Well, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, but I was on your team at least. So
yeah, at least I didn't have to worry about it.
True. But yeah, well, actually, because another thing you mentioned, while like, costumes and stuff doesn't affect things like leveling up, there are like two different ways you can level up things, because you can choose to level up your brooms as well as different player stats or position stats they have.
Yeah, so like every role has like not really a skill tree because it's not that like advanced, but it has 3 skills that you can advance within every role. And you can put up to 10 skill points into each role, not to each person, but to each role. So like as you're leveling up a chaser, your other 2 chasers will have the same exact skills unlocked, and you can wipe them super easily and start all over. So eventually you'll get to a point where I guess you just have 10 points on every single person, every single role, and you can just kind of mess with them as you choose to, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely gives you a lot of ways to customize and everything, because certain ones unlock like certain abilities that you might like more than others, or you might just be like, that thing's too annoying or distracting, I'd rather invest it in like a speed boost or something. So
I had to get the seeker ability that like when you're seeking and you're fighting against the other seeker for the snitch, you can bump into each other. Well, normally you have to like aim your bump, kind of like it's kind of funky. And on like level 2, I think, of the seeker trait, you unlock the ability, it like homes in on the other seeker, like when you're like 10 feet from them, like you hit the tackle button and they'll like go immediately to them instead of you trying to aim. Like I didn't try to do it until I had that trait because
yeah, because it gets really kind of funky, and it's kind of a weird little combination, I feel like, for that. So
there's a lot of controls for this game, and if you're wanting to do certain things, like you gotta like claw arm a little bit, like on the right side of that controller, it's kind of like, I'm not envious that they had to find out a control scheme that works for Quidditch of all games. But if they changed things in the next couple weeks, like adjusted little controls, I wouldn't be too surprised, because there's some room for improvement. But our starting point is pretty good, all things considered.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree. I hope we see more of those in the future, a little bit more ways we can customize that. But I think overall, I would obviously say I do recommend this game. This game did become a lot more fun the more and more I played it. And the more and more
Once you get the hang of it, it's a lot of fun. When you're learning how to do things, it gets it's not frustrating, because the game doesn't like push you or anything, but it's just like, I'm trying to like win a match. I'm just trying to do something. But like once you get it though, like you got it. Now you just have to find out what works for you. Like what roles you like, how best are you controlling things. Learning to drift is a whole thing.
Yes.
Like if you're like, oh, I like to play Mario Kart and other racing games, like drifting is fine. Ooh, it's different in this game. It's a little different. Controls, it's the same. You press the same button you always press to drift, but it's not the same in air. We'll say that.
Yeah. No, I totally agree, for sure. But
I think there's one last thing. We have right now they're doing like a double experience weekend, which great idea on their part to keep people playing throughout the first weekend, right? And we see that there's like a season pass. Yeah. Which you don't have to buy. It's just automatically there, and you don't have to like spend anything to unlock the good stuff.
Pretty crazy.
So I'm curious, like, Are we going to get like events? Are we going to get like a lot of events out of this game for more like cosmetic unlocks? Because there's lots of potential for that.
Mm-hmm.
But also I don't want them to like burn out too fast.
Yeah, because I'm curious like how long, like you, like how much time you'll have to do these, because I can see them totally doing like holiday themed ones or something, which changing up to being like goofy outfits or like emotes based on like a season or something.
I'd love
like,
that.
of the year. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of potential, but there's definitely a lot that's already there. So, I mean, honestly, this game I was very nervous about when it was coming because I was like, I still don't get this. This could be anything. Because I know many people are also upset because Hogwarts Legacy itself did not have a Quidditch game, but we have a Quidditch game now.
We sure do. But I look forward to seeing what the future of this game is.
Yes.
We have a pretty cool opening for it, but what's the rest of it look like?
Yeah. Well, listeners, we hope you enjoyed our episode talking about this new Quidditch game. Like we said, it's actually available on like all systems pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
But right now, if you have PlayStation stuff, definitely just add it to your library. Totally worth a chance just to download and play it. But as always, thanks so much for listening to this episode. Please write us a review. Let us know how we're doing. Make sure that you follow or subscribe wherever you listen to this podcast. You can also follow us on social media at PodDemastered. And feel free to send us an email at demasteredpodcast@gmail.com. But once again, thanks so much for listening to this episode, and we hope you tune in to the next one.
See ya.
See ya.